Greetings, Eric Backer, naturopath, author of Candida Crusher. Thank you for checking this video out. Is leaky gut candida? Is leaky gut candida itself or is associated with candida? Can you explain this, please? Well, what you're going to find is leaky gut or intestinal permeability is not generally caused by candida, but there's often a big association between them both. So many people develop leaky gut syndrome as a consequence of their diet or lifestyle. In fact, most patients I see have some type of intestinal permeability. So this is a real problem today, and we see it particularly with people with poor lifestyles, people who aren't resting up enough, people eating the wrong kind of foods, people who are relying on medications, all sorts of medications for the stomach, maybe for their joints, for inflammation, headache pills, all sorts of pills. They can affect the digestion quite a lot. Some foods that contribute to leaky gut, in my opinion, are commercial poultry, with quite a lot of antibiotics in it. So you'd be surprised how many antibiotics are put in the supermarket, or commercial poultry that's quite inexpensive. So these foods destroy a lot of the beneficial bacteria and contribute to leaky gut. So you may not be aware of that. So how do you know you've got leaky gut? What are some of the signs and symptoms of it? Food intolerance, bloating, a lot of gas, flatulence. These are typical signs and symptoms of leaky gut syndrome. Change in bowel habit, when the bowel's a bit all over the place, can sometimes be a sign there as well. I would say, in my opinion, that most people with candida have some degree of leaky gut. So a good way to overcome this, of course, is to include some fermented or cultured foods into the diet. Remove the poor dietary choices that you're making, particularly sugars and alcohols and foods like that. Abstain from all pharmaceutical medications is a good step in the right direction. Eating a lot more fresh foods, and in summer I'd like people to eat raw foods like fresh salads. Cut up your own foods, grow your own foods if you can. I've got large vegetable gardens. I tend to grow a lot of leafy greens and all the brassicas, all the solanaceae, the tomatoes, eggplants, capsicums, all the herbs. I grow large amounts of parsley and mint, basil, oregano, thyme, rosemary. I grow all of the herbs. So we tend to cook with lots of fresh foods. I have usually stir fries every day for lunch, which are partially cooked foods. I put in there lots of the spring onions, all the Chinese vegetables that go in there. So this is a good dietary approach. These sorts of foods are going to heal the leaky gut. Fresh foods contain enzymes. Enzymes allow the body to break the foods down more rapidly and extract more goodness from it. Cooked foods don't do that. Okay? Cooked foods are harder to digest. So easy to digest foods. A good way to look and understand if your bowel is healthy is to look at the bowel motions themselves. So well-formed bowel motions that are easily eliminated is a sign of a healthy bowel generally, especially if there's no bloating and there's minimal gas. That tells you that you're not eating a lot of bad sugars, that you're eating plenty of fiber, and you've got a good water content to the diet as well. So these are manners to overcome leaky gut syndrome. And also, candida hates a diet that is full of these sorts of fresh vegetables and fruits. Okay, so initially with candida you need to be careful of the fruits, but over a period of time you'll be able to eat all the fruits again. So fruits generally can upset a person with severe yeast infection. So that's just a couple of good ideas for you. Last tip that I'll leave you with is to really try and increase the amount of cultured or fermented foods you eat. This will really help you overcome leaky gut, particularly if you like foods like sauerkraut that I do. I recently cut up 8 cabbages and made up a large amount of sauerkraut. I also enjoy kefir culture. So kefir is very simple to make at home, and so is sauerkraut. Yogurt's easy to make at home. Kimchi is easy to make at home. You'll find all of these foods on yeastinfection.org. I write a bit about them. And by the way, don't forget to do my quiz, my Candida quiz, on yeastinfection.org or on candidacrusher.com. Thank you for tuning into this video today.